Hello everyone, welcome to a very quick Pan That Palette update with my Mario palette. I've been working on this palette for so many months now and I'm really happy that it's almost finished. So this is what my palette looked like during my last update. And this is what my palette looks like now. So you can see that I have finished 3 of the shades, leaving me with 4. Out of the 3 that I finished, 2 of them were my Franken shadows and 1 of them was Bronx, the green shade. So for the Franken shadows, they were really easy to finish because I had just a little bit left of the original Anastasia shadows and then I mixed them with some Urban Decay. If you missed me talking about that and showing the swatches of my new eyeshadows, you can check out my last Pan That Palette update for that. But for my remix of Hollywood, which was very metallic and shiny but relatively sheer, I did wear it just all over my lid a few times with Lula in the crease, that cool toned sort of grayish color. And it was very pretty but very boring, and a lot of my looks are very boring, so I managed to take 4 photos over the last month and a bit. I'm horrible at taking photos of my day-to-day makeup. I never remember, and these 4 times I remembered I was at work like first thing in the morning before I had coffee, before I put my lip products on, because I always have my coffee first, and I look horrible. And I took them all with my camera phone, so it's the quality of a potato. But I really wanted to at least give a couple of examples because I'm always just talking and not showing anything. So there's one look that you can see where I used Hollywood on top of a pinkish shadow, and I used Violetta in the outer corner. Violetta is the brown matte shade in this palette, and I liked using Hollywood as a light topper on top of other shadows to give a little bit of sheen. For my day-to-day look, since I don't have a lot of time to get ready, I mostly focus on a feeling, a vibe, like my general mood, instead of trying to be like a perfect eye look with everything perfectly blended, because I just simply don't have the time. So I don't focus too hard and I don't beat myself up over the perfect blending or matching things, and it's just fun. I mean, makeup is supposed to be fun anyway. So anyway, there's my potato look with Hollywood. You can see an example of that, and also using Violetta. So Hollywood just did not last me very long. I didn't get to play with it that much just because there wasn't a whole lot of product there. Now for my revamped version of NYC, which is a very pretty red shadow now with a little bit more glitter, I really embraced the red shadow. So I have one photo with the red eye look where I had a little bit of my remixed NYC shade on my lid, and then I used some of the shades from the Natasha Denona Tropic palette, which is in my Project Pan Porn. So I've been mixing some of the shades from that palette. I was doing it before anyway, but that's in my Project Pan Porn now, along with Urban Decay's Naked Heat palette. So I was mixing and matching those things together, and there's a couple of shades in the Tropic palette. Specifically, I'm thinking about Sangria, this beautiful matte shade that I like using all over my entire eye, and I just sort of embrace the red eyes. Like you can see sort of in the picture, I'm wearing my snake earrings and my Ouija necklace or choker, and that was definitely a mood. And whenever I wear red shadows, it's usually because I'm either A, very tired, or B, pretty pissed off. It's either a red eye or a lot of black eyeliner when I am just not in the mood for anything. So that very simple eye style is how I wore NYC, my revamped NYC, just with that little sparkle on the lid and then matte blown out everywhere else. And it's very quick and very easy, which is what I love. And that brings me to Bronx, which is such a beautiful olive green eyeshadow. I miss this eyeshadow so much. I don't have anything like it, and it's such a good green shadow. The Anastasia metallic eyeshadows are phenomenal, and I just haven't come across anything that's this olive green that is like this. I don't have anything like it. So anyway, I loved wearing that all over my lid. Now, I wore this a couple of different ways. Sometimes I would just blend it all over my lid. And then what I would do is I always used it wet, so I'd spray a little Fix Plus and then I'd pat it on to my lid, and then with a dry crease brush I would dip back into the pan and then just blend it out using just the one shadow, just a one shadow look. It's just a really blown out green smoky eye. Now I also played with a few other things with the green. Every now and then I would pair it with gold and have sort of green on the outer and a little gold in the inner, or just like a gold inner corner. I would also pair it sometimes with some shades from the Naked Heat palette. So I would put those shades, those matte shades, in the crease and then have Bronx on my lid. Really my very simple eye shape is usually what I always do. Like occasionally I'll do something a little bit more angled, like with tape or something, but oftentimes for the daily I just really make everything very circular and blown out, and it's very easy, very quick. So that's how I was using Bronx with the Naked Heat palette. Now I did find a couple of combinations just within the Mario palette itself that I really liked. So one example of that is just adding Violetta to the outer corner, and I would play with my angles a little bit. I like using this time to experiment and just kind of be like, okay, let's try it up a little bit higher. Let's move it down a little bit lower. Let's blend a little more, let's blend a little less, let's make this harsh, let's make this soft. And that's what I was doing with Violetta and with Bronx. So I have one example of kind of a fairly harsh version where I really didn't blend it out but just had it very circular and kind of up pretty high. But it is of course a very simple look just with a lot of brown eyeliner. And I also really liked using Bronx with Isabelle, the matte orange shade. So I would put Bronx all over the lid and put Isabelle in the crease, and occasionally a little bit of Violetta as well, but usually very soft. Definitely a very fall look. So I was really sort of channeling those fall colors, the changing of the leaves. So you'd have a little bit of brown, a little green, a little orange, and I was just sort of really hazily blending everything together. That's what I was going for anyway, with a little bit of Circuit from Clionadh Cosmetics on the inner corner. That is like still my favorite thing, and I actually used Circuit today with this eye look, and all I used today was Isabelle and Violetta, the matte orange and the matte brown, and I used Circuit, and I used just a little bit of glitter from a Etsy shop called Dazzle Me Glitter. This is Season of the Witch glitter, so it's like orange and green, and I just kind of smudged the glitter messily on the bottom. I kind of wanted it to be like glittery dirt. Just again, just a feeling. I just like having fun and playing with my makeup. So that's how I've been playing with this palette. Lula, I still haven't used that much. I was using it a little bit with my makeshift Hollywood shade, as I mentioned, but other than that, I still don't have pan on that shade. I'm really close to finishing Isabelle. I have a lot of pan on Violetta and just a lot worn away in general. I feel like the pan is going to expand massively with this shade. I don't tend to use this with a flat brush. I tend to use it with like a bigger, fluffier crease brush because it tends to just mostly stay in my outer corner. So I just know that there's going to be a lot more pan showing than there already is. And then Claudia, I really have not used very much, like a handful of times. I mostly pair it with gold right now because that's what I'm feeling, but I need to find some more ways to use Claudia up. I feel like that and Lula, those two are probably going to be the shades that I have left remaining. But I'm going to try really hard to finish as much as possible. I really think within the next month I can finish Isabelle and Violetta really easily, and that's what I'm going to work on, those shades that I like, instead of forcing myself to use something else. These are perfect fall colors, and they're very, very easy shadows to use, and they both pair very well with shadows that are in other palettes that I have. Violetta is a really good outer corner shade. It's really good for deepening, and Isabelle is a really good crease shade, and I've really been liking it with some more unique lid shades. I've been using it with one particular shadow from the Naked Heat palette in particular, and I really think that's how I'll be able to finish that off. And then leave Lula and Claudia, and I'll do what I can with it. I really want to try and finish the whole palette, but honestly, I'm not going to force myself to do it if I'm miserable by the end of it. I think I will reevaluate in a month's time and see where I am. So like the middle of October, I should have long finished Isabel and Violetta, and then I'll see how I feel about Lula and Claudia, and I might give myself another month, but I feel like I will definitely call it quits by December 1st. Like that's kind of my deadline right now, because I don't want to force myself and be miserable trying to use something that I don't really like. So I know some people don't like that, but I've definitely learned so much from panning, and I've learned it's not worth forcing myself to use something that I hate just so that I can say that I finished it. Like there's no benefit from that. There's no benefit in forcing myself to use the shades that I'm not surprised I don't like and that I don't use, that I already know. Like if you watch any of my previous Pan That palette, specifically I'm thinking of the Vice LTD, like the last shadow I had remaining with that palette was a deep blue shadow. So I don't wear shadows like that, and I know that. So anyway, that's all for my Pan That palette update. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you do have any questions, comments, or concerns. If there's anything you would like to see, or if there's anything you want to know more about, just let me know. I will do my best to address everything. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. As always, I really, really appreciate it, and I hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.